The NBA trade deadline slams to a close this Thursday, and there have been numerous rumors so far as to who is going where. One name on everybody's lips the past week or so is Houston Rocket John Wall. It's been suggested the big man is about to head west, so it'll be interesting to see how his story unfolds. Today, we're discussing Wall's potential trade, plus other trade rumors, so don't go anywhere. First up, let's take a little look at Wall's career a little closer. Wall was born in 1990 in Raleigh, North Carolina, and was actually the first overall pick back in 2010, being selected by the Washington Wizards. Prior to being drafted, Wall played college ball for Kentucky Wildcats as a point guard. He faced several problems from an early age as his father was rarely around, having served time for armed robbery and second-degree murder, before passing away in his early 50s. Wall's older brother was also incarcerated soon after being released in 2018. Due to the upheaval in his personal life, Wall acted out as a child and often rejected adults in positions of authority, but found solace in basketball, thankfully. The 6'4" point guard started off at Garner Magnet Word of God High School, where he racked up some big numbers. It was here where his coach noticed his talent and encouraged him to fix his attitude, starting with not calling out teammates for making mistakes and to change his facial expressions. It's the little things, right? Wall then turned out for the University of Kentucky, where he broke the assist record in one game with 16. He was later inducted into the university's Hall of Fame. He also turned out for the University of Missouri. In 2010, he was drafted by the Wizards and stayed in Washington for a decade before being traded to Texas outfit, the Houston Rockets. 31-year-old is also a five-time NBA All-Star while being named to the All-NBA team in 2017. Next up, let's discuss those trade rumors. Stay tuned. NBA fans have recently been closely watching developments in the John Wall trade saga amidst reports that he could be about to head west to the LA Clippers. Wall is yet to appear for the Rockets so far this season, but if we're to believe news out of Houston, it appears point guard is fit and ready to go. The Rockets are understood to be open to a trade involving Wall, who has played for the team since 2020, but there is one stumbling block: the size of his massive contract. Wall's currently in the third year of a monstrous $170 million contract and does have a $47 million player option for next season, which he is almost guaranteed to take. So if he is to leave, a potential suitor would need to at least match this. Clippers are currently without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George due to injury, so eyebrows have been raised at their reported interest in Wall, who isn't the same player as he was 10 years ago. One report from The Athletic said one such team that had expressed interest earlier in the season was the LA Clippers, sources say. But there is some confusion from an outsider's perspective on the Clippers' objectives heading into that deadline. If this deal was to go ahead, the Clippers would need to let some players go due to Wall's huge contract. Do you guys think this one would be a good fit? Let us know your thoughts below. Some more Clippers trade news now. Stick around. Safe to say the Clippers have been busy in the lead up to the trade deadlines this Thursday. One such deal that has crossed the line is that of Norman Powell, who will be heading south to join the LA outfit from the Portland Trail Blazers. This is a pretty big trade as it involves no less than 5 players, with former Philadelphia 76er Robert Covington also heading to Cali. Also involved in the deal are Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, and Keon Johnson, who will be heading in the opposite direction. The Trailblazers will also be receiving a second-round pick in 2025 as part of the deal. Of course, Powell is the main man in the deal and will help plug the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George-shaped holes in the Clippers lineup this term. The shooting guard, who's actually a California native, so will have no problem settling in the area, has been in good form this season, averaging 18.7 points and 2.1 assists. He's also shooting around 40% on three-pointers and will help to plug the gaps on the Clippers' wings. The move's also a good one for the Trailblazers, giving them a little more flexibility with salaries in the future and in the 3 guys they have acquired. The Portland team have picked up 3 salary-friendly players to add to their roster. Which player are you most excited about as part of this deal? Give us your thoughts below. Some news from Cleveland now. Don't go anywhere. Cleveland Cavaliers have also been busy this week and have made moves to give them the best possible chance of reaching the playoffs. It was reported in the early hours of Monday, February 7th, that they have acquitted Indiana Pacer Karis LeVert. The 27-year-old, who started his NBA career with the Brooklyn Nets, heads to Ohio in exchange for Ricky Rubio and a 2022 first-round draft pick for the Pacers. The Indiana side will also receive a second-round pick next season via Houston, as well as a second-round pick in 2027 via Utah. Cavs will receive a second-round pick via Miami for next season too, as part of the deal. The Cavs have shown they're looking to the future, and LeVert adds to a young roster which has the potential to go pretty far in the coming years. It'll just be a case of unlocking that potential. Cavs guard Rajon Rondo said of the reported deal, "He can help put the ball in the hole, he can erupt for 40 or 50 a night." The deal is yet to be made official, as both participants need to take part in a conference call with the league to dot the I's and cross the T's. Pacers player Justin Holiday predicted his old teammate will fit in quickly in Cleveland, claiming he will become a brother very quickly with those guys. Do you think this is a good deal for the Cavs and for Indiana? Let us know below. Mitchell Robinson joins us now. Stay tuned. New York Knicks 23-year-old center Mitchell Robinson could reportedly be on the move before Thursday's deadline rolls around. Strong interest coming out of Detroit. There's nothing concrete so far, but the deal seems to make sense for the Pistons, as Robinson is a solid defensive player who blocks well and also excels at rebounds. Center is a position the Pistons have struggled in recently, so if they could get that deal done before Thursday, it would be a real coup for the Michigan outfit. It also makes sense in New York. The Knicks have a surplus of centers, and it would also lighten the salary bill. Nerlens Noel has recently signed a new contract, and they also have the breakout player Obi Toppin vying for minutes. Not to forget, Taj Gibson is also a solid option off the bench, so Robinson probably isn't going to get the game time he wants going forward. A deal might be best for all parties, so don't be surprised if this one gets the green light. While it's still in its infancy, there is still no indication as to what the Pistons would be willing to pay, or who they'd be willing to trade, nor what the Knicks would be asking for. Keep an eye on this one. Do you think this trade makes sense? Let us know below. And finally, some Lakers news. One of the most famous teams in all of basketball, it's safe to say the Lakers are not having a good time of it this season, currently sitting 9th in the Western Conference. The famous LA team needs new blood, and they need it yesterday. Fans of the team have been pining for players such as Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, and Domantas Sabonis. But as we all know, these deals would take a sizable chunk of the Lakers' budget, and they also lack draft assets and younger up-and-coming players to convince these players' teams to let go of their stars. Some more realistic trades for the Lakers would include someone like Eric Gordon, who plies his trade with the Houston Rockets. He would fit in well in LA, as well as the Lakers could do with a sharpshooter who can create as much as finished plays. He also has a history with Carmelo and Russ, so it would fit in easily. There can also look to be the likes of Harrison Barnes of the Sacramento Kings. Insiders are expecting the Kings to go through a bit of a panic sale before deadline day. Barnes certainly has the talent to be beneficial to the Lakers. Good in defense, he's also super athletic, which would certainly be an asset to an aging Lakers team. Who do you guys think the Lakers need before the trade window closes? Realistic suggestions only. Please, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in today. Remember to stop by next time for some more fun revelations. Also, why not share this video with any NBA fan friends you have? You'd be doing us a big favor. Bye, guys.